They had very good customer service, but it took me 3 different shipments to get the bench not
Because I
damaged.
have books at home from PSAB for park equipment, so I don't
I have
know.
that book too.
Even
yeah.
Game Time has them.
Yeah,
On
I
Facebook,
wonder if
or
you can
on the
get a better
internet.
price going through something like that
Yeah.
to get benches
Game
super
Time
good
has
too.
them. They have a lot of different ones.
You may be able to get a better, like if the borough goes after it, they may be able to get a better price
Yeah.
as
Okay.
opposed to me just being a consumer, but
I'll pull my book up tonight when I get home.
Yeah, that's an idea. Maybe we could have just the borough, because the money will be there, they can make the actual purchase and have them delivered here.
Well, the Bird Garage.
Or, yeah, or down at the senior center, I never thought about
Yeah.
that, wherever we could put it down there at the senior center, if they got a garage area to set them in.
Well, no, I mean,
So now we need to figure out the
corner.
price.
The Bird Garage is right around the corner. That's where they delivered the playground, the merry-go-round.
Okay, well, there you
They
go.
just delivered at the Bird Garage down by the wastewater treatment plant.
So what if we pick the two benches
They're
that
right on the shore.
we would like to see down there?
So we need the price of the benches and the pavers. Paver,
Because that's a newer building.
measure. the-
Remember Annie went with a different paver.
Right, unless we do concrete, do some kind of, like you said, stamped concrete or one that's designed or something different than. And then you could, I guess, would they have like a post that went into the paver in order to put the bench down and secure it? Is that how that works with that?
that one I had to custom order anchors that go into the ground underneath the pavers, so it wasn't optimal. Because I had to basically sit the bench there, mark the thing, wedge out the pavers, drill a 18-inch spike into the ground, and hope I got it in the right spot. Somehow I managed to do it for 4 of them, and
Raise yourself.
I got lucky, yeah. But then you have to hope, get it down and get it level again, and then put the bench in, and then you put the bolts in and screw it fast into the top of that screw. Those anchors, I think, were $130 for all 4.
So it might be,
But your other option is too, you can actually, if you really wanted, you could put a concrete pad below grade,
Yeah.
and then you could
Put
glue,
papers on top.
you could put adhesive on it and glue pavers on top, and then you could just,
go right through
you
that,
could drill through that, and then you epoxy in rebar, and then
right.
put the nut on and secure it.
So Borough did the cement under the ones at the playground on Manor Park. There were 3 benches down there that were donated to Morrisville first, and they had a cement slab under them. But then you could always have them put it lower and then just put papers on top.
So drop the footer area, you're saying down lower, so that the
So
concrete's
papers
below?
on top.
You just have to have something to anchor it to, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, the cement.
Yeah, if you have concrete underneath, it's easier to anchor. If you don't have concrete and you have ground, then you gotta,
Do it
the best
paper.
system I could come up with was those spikes that I drilled in and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
put in, but they're,
What's under the
Doable.
benches now there? Nothing, right?
Nothing.
It's grass.
Just grass.
Yeah.
It's
On both
grass.
of them, there's just grass.
But they're also the
Dirt,
concrete
really, not
sided
even
ones,
grass.
Yeah.
the wood,
Yeah.
the big heavy
or your other
things.
option is you just leave it grass, and all you do, you dig out 4 holes and you put it in the tubes and you fill them with concrete with the bars sticking up, and then you just attach the bench to that at ground level.
And
Then
But-
mowing
but-
underneath, it's a pain in the neck.
Yeah,
Now you're weed whacking.
Yeah,
you're
you
giving
gotta have
extra-
something.
I know they're
With-
doing it already.
but with pavers, you'll get weeds and stuff in there too that you gotta maintain.
Yeah,
unless you have a concrete slab first.
You'll still get seeds to get in there and grow.
that's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, look at this, look at Route 1, along the median. It's a jungle.
Maybe it's best then just to go with a concrete slab and have it stamped or something.
Be cheaper. But we don't want to necessarily go cheap. We just want to do it nice.
Because then I'd like to reach out to Judge Burns' family.
Yeah.
Well, you want to invite them to the event.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's not a big area of pavers to have to get
No.
weeds out, but I mean,
No.
you know.
No.
And we put on ours, they put,
It's really like your house, it depends what you want it to look like.
yeah,
You can always make it work, just
Mhm.
some a little more tricky than others, and, you know, I don't install pavers and benches for a living, so it was a little more difficult for me to figure out a plan. You might be able to go to a landscaper, and they might be able to say, you want this, this, and this, and
Yeah.
bam.
mhm.
This is
They've got better ideas than I do, and know more, because they've done 100
No.
benches.
No.
So then, if I get prices for the benches and then prices for, are we going to do pavers or are we going to do stamped concrete?
Well, that's what you need to figure out. You need to figure, you know, who's gonna decide on, you know, about what size do you want, what do you want it to look like, what stamp concrete options are there, so you,
You know what size the bench is up there?
just under 6 foot maybe?
You want a bench for.
So that's
you know,
probably what the ones are down there. They're probably
Yeah.
about 6 foot, both of them.
You know, I'm gonna say you're probably gonna be close to $3,000 to do two.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing one on either side of the front?
Yeah, the one this way in front of the senior center, the one this way in front of the courthouse.
Yeah, the ones down there in the, as you enter the side, the senior center, right? That one you're talking about, it's on an
That one's
angle?
along, goes same as the sidewalk.
Okay,
And the other one goes this way, like the sidewalk, like at the courthouse.
okay. All right, so we'll get the prices
That's
and
not
the,
on the sidewalk.
and then figure out, and the pavers, I mean, you can go look for a good price on those, you know, especially in the summer, you might be able to get, you don't need that many of them. You know, Annie was looking for a certain color to match the library, I don't know what the
Right.
courthouse colors are down there, I'll take a look at that, I don't remember.
Because the
Brick,
courthouse is
It's brick.
newer.
Red brick.
Red brick,
Red brick, is it red brick?
yeah.
Is it?
Well,
Well, that's
the case.
easy.
I
I'm
mean,
gonna go down there and right and
I
grab
was
some
just
of that
gonna
red
say,
brick
I'm
out of
right,
there.
there you
and
go,
drive
Brick
it
on
down.
brick, that'll look good. We'll just put brick under. You know what I was wondering with that? Did you see, you know they had the square windows, like
They
in
still have
the
them.
cement, the colored ones?
Mhm. They still have them.
What's cement windows?
Who
Brian,
has
pull them
them?
out for me.
They took them out for you? Because I was gonna stop and say, could you hold one of them for me?
He has them, do you want one?
Yeah,
All right.
I don't even care what color.
Yeah, he's got a pile of them, I asked him to pull them out.
Yeah, because I'm thinking the jacket, we would buy it twice, like 2 or 3 days, and I said, boy, I wonder what they're gonna do with them. You think they're just gonna smash them? I
When
said,
you
it's such
go-
a shame.
If you go tomorrow, the front, well, the ones the side on Hillcrest, they're right off to the side by the gate. Just,
Right.
they're heavy,
Okay,
but just, you know,
Jack will be with me.
I think there's like 5 or 6 of them there. He was able to pull.
So right now, that bench is on sale for $670,
Well,
Wow,
What is?
the bench,
it's a good price on it.
but that, I'm not sure what the shipping is on that.
Is it the same
like
bench that we have?
Everstock.com where it's free
It's
shipping.
close.
Yeah, if we buy two.
No, because
we
they
get one
said-
free.
They send these via freight,
Oh,
so you have to be there to get them and take them off the truck, otherwise
That's
it's
how I got my pool.
$50 more if you want them to take it off the truck for you.
How much?
No, they took it off, but they
$50
wouldn't
more.
take it in the yard, they left it on
So
the
they bring a
curb.
truck with the lift gate so that they can lower it down.
well, if they brought it to the garage, could we schedule the guys to meet the truck there that day? Scott could do that and have them lift it off.
Yeah.
Until we're ready to go install it. So I would do is have them, since it's gonna go down there.
Well, by the time we get this off the ground, I mean, I doubt that bench is gonna be on sale.
Yeah.
Might be another bench on sale, but I doubt that one.
Well, that's for the company I think he already used. We
Yeah.
checked that one again at the time and then, whatever we find in the
So
books.
in game time, yeah.
Let's see what they have. You have trash cans down there?
Nope,
Really?
no,
There's no outside trash cans?
we have the plastic chemical containers
At the
They're
They're
courthouse?
everywhere.
everywhere.
They're everywhere.
They're even behind the cut rake, that people are stealing them. Yeah, right, barrels, I told
So
you.
yeah, shipping's $200 about,
Oh, crap.
so you're looking at $900 a
Yeah.
bench.
A bench, yeah. But then you're gonna have the installation part of that, so you're talking, yeah, it's gonna be at least 3,000.
Are there any local vendors?
I don't know. These were
You mean-
the cheapest prices we could find.
You mean
And
like
any
a-
any contractor would be able to install it. I'm telling you, any contractor would be capable of doing it.
Right.
Chris Quince, somebody talk to, any of these guys.
Any landscaper?
Das Villa,
I have to get the approval from the county first.
sure, but I think from an
And
installation.
they may decide that they wanna help
They may
out
wanna
with
do it
this.
too, yeah, that's the thing. And by getting the word out to them, if we're gonna do some fundraising, they're gonna show up for that. It's just a good project, they're gonna show up for that.
We might get people, that, like somebody say, like a local landscaper,
Mhm.
that
Donate
can
and
donate their time and.
And,
Right.
Yeah.
Let's figure out the price first. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 3,000, maybe
Yeah.
more.
I think you're right around 3,500.
Yeah.
And
I
then-
think the target should be 3,500 because it gives you a little cushion.
Yeah,
And if you have extra, you can put some flowers around it.
yeah,
That's all.
Yeah,
What
and you gotta
possibly
consider,
charge
Or,
me?
yeah, or charge-
plaque.
I was gonna say a plaque, you need some sort of plaque.
yeah, for each one,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do a nameplate, that's cheap enough, but if you have enough, you can do a nice plaque.
yeah,
I could talk to Rodriguez about doing the plaque.
yeah.
They make plaques.
I mean, add it to the bench or alongside of it
Next
on
to
a
it.
stone.
Next to it on
Because
the,
you know
on
how
the
like
flat.
to put it on, I've
Mhm.
seen them put it right onto a stone,
Mhm.
and the stone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're doing a plaque, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it just screws right into the stone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yes, you could do it either way.
But it just depends on how
And
much
some
you
people
raise,
put
right,
it
so that's
on
your
here.
extra.
Some
You
people
could
put it
just-
on the back of the bench
Yeah,
too.
like a nameplate, which would be the cheaper way, but if you raise enough money, you can do a nice plaque.
But you gotta looking at the design of the bench, there's not a good spot to put it unless you put it on an armrest, and then it's
Right,
sideways.
What about the front, the very front of it?
No, because it comes down and dips over and it's slatted.
So it would depend on what type of bench you got,
Okay,
depending on where you could put it.
okay.
okay.
But I
So
mean, if
this
you could
is-
do a stone,
That's the one that Annie had originally recommended, I think.
So we have a fundraiser, we know a DJ that might donate his
I'll
time.
donate my time. That's no problem. We got music and lights.
We got a baker that'll donate goods.
I hear there's going to be great desserts. I know somebody who's really good at setting up like the picky food in the beginning. Georgia knows. She's very
So
good at
I
that.
think we get some volunteers to help with all that
I
sort of
think
stuff.
so.
Yeah.
Just don't do it in May. They don't wanna be volunteered out for a month.
Oh, no, we're doing it right at the same time as the dog park party.
I will do a lot.
all right, so,
Told you I'm a hard maybe,
Deserve some recognition, besides this picture on the wall.
a firm maybe.
Yeah, I think we could, if we get enough people into,
I think it'd be a great opportunity.
Sell it
It's
out.
such a good project. I think you'll get a lot of people to come out for it. You know, don't necessarily charge a cover, ask for donations for it, and just have the stuff there. And I think you draw a huge crowd, and people will do, I'll
So
donate,
one
I'm
bench
ready
would
to donate
be-
for it.
for
Yeah,
Judge
but,
Burns,
much for Eileen's dad who,
Who founded the senior center, right?
Yeah.
Edgar Solt.
Yep. I think that's awesome.
founder of the senior center.
Mhm. Okay.
Two great projects.
And when I die, they can name the Manor Park Playground after me.
Stop it.
Drive Block Playground.
Well, no, because I'm gonna, I'll reach out to all three county commissioners tonight. I'll send them emails
Yeah.
and let them know. We would like to do a fundraiser.
Copy all of council if you would.
Yes, all. We don't wanna hear
This is
no
what we discussed.
backlash.
I would send it to them and then forward that to all of council saying this is what we discussed at the, so it's not,
Yes,
nobody told
Not
us there
our
was this nice
idea.
project going on. That's my recommendation.
it was discussed at the beautification.
Because we would like everybody to be a part of this project.
So I'll send it to the commissioners first.
Yes.
And CC everybody else.
So I'd say outside of like finally getting the plaza finished, get the lights, get the block,
I will be so happy when this
then
lights
that's
are there.
basically in there.
That's
We-
in.
We need to do something with those, either, like you were saying, take those posts out, the black posts, or add them to the other side. I think until they get the signage up there, they're not running down the plaza with trucks, that, you know, it's not gonna do any good to put that up there.
And I may be overstepping my bounds here, and you and I spoke about this a little bit earlier today. I think next year, some of the plan has to be that there has to be a plan for the borough to make sure that it's weeded and mulched. Whether it's done by the borough or it's hired out to get done, but twice a year it's cleaned up. We can still do our cleanups there, and if there's anything that needs to be
Add
planted,
plants.
we're all over it. But we need a maintenance plan for that area, and it can't just be volunteers, it has to be done. So that, I think that's next year when we talk about the budget, how much can we afford to put towards that, towards MR Writer, the same
Right.
style of, hey, we need these things
You
maintenance.
have enough people with the gardening that can handle
Mhm.
the plants and stuff,
Yeah.
I think, because the fact that they
Oh,
know
yeah.
the plants where your
And
guys
I
are.
love
growing
doing that
plants.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's the
And
weeding
decorating.
and, yeah,
Yeah.
it's that stuff. It should be maintenance
Right.
yearly, twice a year, that's all it's gonna be.
Mhm.
And for a crew or a company, it should probably only be an hour to 2 hour job, and they're in and out, and it shouldn't be that expensive.
Yeah, or to pull the mulch in that you're gonna need to freshen it
Yeah.
up, that's gonna be part of the.
Yeah.
Because every other
landscaping
year
part.
it's gonna need to be remulched.
I
Like
think
this
every
year,
year
it's
it needs to be remulched every year, it's just a thinner amount.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Right.
freshen it up.
Yeah, so
That's
it's,
nice.
you don't have to put on the massive amount we did last year
Right.
if you do it every year.
Mhm.
Last year, we had to take it down
I know,
to the dirt, because
it was bad,
Yes.
yeah, it was bad, but,
It was fun though.
it was good, we had a good time.
We did.
But we need to, we could still have good times elsewhere too, we can't be,
Right.
we can't be stuck at one spot
That's
doing
actually
that.
a good time.
I have fun doing it.
I did.
I don't know, I'm just looking forward, that's all.
One other thing. Philadelphia Avenue and Pennsylvania Avenue, the railroad, that wall.
What
It's-
wall?
It's,
You mean the landslide?
it's about ready to come down.
Well, I think we'll get hit with a truck going down there, I'll take care of it, and then it'll happen.
Push it-
It'll happen.
Justin, get
Maybe
on
the guy
that.
that hit the car on South Pennsylvania Avenue Friday night, maybe he could have fallen asleep a block sooner and ran into it and pushed it in
That's what I'm
there.
saying, the way they're
The
losing the loads off
railroad
the
is
trucks.
telling me that they did not put that wall in.
Oh, they did, I know they did. Oh my God.
So they don't take
They're
responsibility.
not, well
So
then
whose
I'll
wall
dig
is it?
behind it and I'll get a sledgehammer and push them back in.
They think that the borough put it in.
It's their property
I know.
and they even put the
Well,
curbing
so-
on the
so
other
if-
side.
Well,
They didn't
fine,
put
will
it
they, will they give the borough or volunteers permission to fix it then?
Yeah,
I don't know that we wanna do that, dude.
It's not a big wall.
no,
couple
and it's
hours.
only like this wide, that's
Okay.
falling forward. All you have to do is dig the dirt from behind it.
My question would be, if they didn't do it, what would be there? Would it be cleaned up? What, like, if it was just like,
Was it ever
if we
cleaned up?
believe
Was it
them,
ever
It would be rocks. They would just put rocks there like everywhere
Yeah.
else.
Like down, they
It would
put down the
slide
side of the
They would
hills.
put spray,
Mm-hmm.
they would not, I'm being honest, they would
That's a
spray.
rock.
It would look like the whole rest of the line, the
Yeah.
railroad,
How do they stop the snow?
How does it
though
look
from
so
getting
nice
off
and
the
yardly?
sidewalk?
because it's big stone, it's not moving
how does
anywhere.
it look so nice in Yardley? The train station and the train
SEPTA.
tracks
That's
there.
not
That's
North.
SEPTA, that's not Amtrak.
I'll keep fighting it. I don't have a problem with that.
I don't understand, the borough would
Scott
not
talked to
pay
them
to
too?
put a retaining
No.
wall up on somebody else's
Maybe
property.
he should get on their
They
case.
just wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't
But
do it
they-
on their own property, they're gonna do it on somebody else's?
I just,
But did volunteers do it?
I don't think so, that's a big
nobody has
job,
a
man.
record of when it was done?
I mean, listen, Amtrak went as far as to ask me if the borough wanted that piece of property.
Yeah, but
was
then,
For what?
then you're stuck with all kinds of.
Yeah,
because they-
It's a state
Tell
highway,
them-
why would we
tell them
want that
yes.
property?
Tell them yes, build a train station there
Yes.
and we'll take it over.
Yes.
Yeah, put the station in.
Right in that one little spot.
Sure.
Well, we could take Rockies out and we could do it on both sides. But we'd have to leave space for
But-
the
I'll email them
burlesque.
again.
But you have somebody that's at least
Because that's
contact me
what
back
it's
and
designated to
ask
be.
if volunteers can
Has to be someplace.
fix it.
Tell them to open that train station back up that used to be there and
Yeah.
we'll take great care of it.
Yeah. But the tunnel's on the other side of Pennsylvania Avenue.
It is.
Yeah. Just hang out in there,
Oh,
underneath. the
we need
railroad.
to talk later?
Huh? Oh, but it's stuck in there.
It's like the one that used to be in Levittown, that
Yeah,
they just
yeah.
demolished. It
Yeah.
was under the train track, it
Yeah.
always stunk. Even when I was a little kid, it stunk in
Well,
the
you know
tunnel.
why, it stinks.
Well, it's all moldy.
No.
Oh, okay, then no, I don't. The Levittown one was always moldy, there was
Yeah.
always something dripping from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't think I wanna go there.
I don't know. I think I've used up this conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I was told. They told me they would try to get to it soon.
Yeah, but they're supposed to have an engineer come out and look at it or something.
He did. He sent an email earlier that morning inquiring who would be a good contact. PennDOT, that's right, PennDOT put it in.
Oh,
PennDOT put it in.
why would PennDOT do that?
Really?
Oh, maybe because the rocks were rolling into the street, and that's their street, no?
No, because the opposite side of the thing is the same hill, and
Okay.
somebody probably lobbied them to have it
That's
look
why
nice.
when they put that sidewalk and everything in that, both those corners, they put the sidewalk
So
in
they
and
end
all
up
that.
with the corners
Because that's when they probably put the curb in around the other garden on the other side across the street.
So PennDOT
It was
did it.
PennDOT.
Will PennDOT fix it?
No.
PennDOT put it in.
Oh,
it's not their property.
No,
Well, if they put it
But
in,
if they
then
put it
we-
in, don't they have to maintain what they put in?
They don't
Regardless
fix the
of
roads.
property?
Yeah.
They
yeah,
are
really,
town, they're
they're
gonna
down there,
fix
look at Philadelphia, I've got that
Yeah.
corner, I mean, really.
They have proof they did it?
Look at Delmore Ave, it's a train
I
wreck.
know. Maybe if we had one, then we could fix the road.
Well, listen, we already have to PennDOT for the
They
signs.
found out from Amtrak Real Estate Department. That's who they found out who put it in. It was
Okay.
PennDOT.
So PennDOT's not gonna do anything with it, so if I
Well,
gotta
I would
anything
forward
done,
that
we
to
gotta do
PennDOT
it
and
ourselves.
ask them if they can, maintenance what they installed, because it's now a hazard that they've created, and since now we have
No, come dig it all out.
documentation saying that they put it in, if somebody gets hurt, it's kind of their responsibility.
We'd really like to have
Make
it
them
fixed before it
Yeah,
has
Yeah,
to be
does-
taken
does their legal
out.
team want that liability? I mean, do something with
We
it,
appreciate the wall, but
fix it or
Or
take it
maintenance would be
down or
nice.
something.
I was gonna
Quite a
say,
while.
It's gotta be a long time.
yeah,
Maybe
probably
it's been there decades.
15 years.
And that's the
maybe.
pressure of
I
the
think
stones
more
rolling
than
down
that
the
even.
hill.
Really?
It's
Yeah,
pushing
I don't
against
remember it ever not being there.
Oh, I do.
it. Really, that
Of
long?
course.
Because I cleaned both those corners before they put them there. I said, oh, they're gonna put a little garden there, they're gonna put a cement wall around it and put new clean fill in there for you, so you can plant more flowers.
And
Why,
and the
thank
problem is, a
you.
wall like that needs to be retaining. If
Yeah.
there's nothing behind it, it gets loose, and this is what happened. Everything drained out around it, so it's got this big empty area. If it's not retaining, it's gonna fall back
It's
and get
because
loose.
everything washes down that hill.
Yeah,
Puts the pressure against
Washes it
it.
out, yeah.
Mhm.
I want to pull the weeds out behind that wall. There's nothing there then.
I'm amazed at the other side, how
send
much,
something
where
right
we
now.
clipped that back, those bushes, and
Oh, I
they're-
know, yeah.
they need clipped back again before they get too high.
Everything else is coming up now down there.
Is it?
Mhm.
Yeah, some of those other ones that were like
The
really
hostas and
tall,
everything.
gotta be clipped out. I have to go to Home Depot myself and get one of those longer handled ones for my Rose of Sharon for the same reason I can't reach up there with it, so I need one. One of them things, I don't know what you call that thing, clip the tree.
The ones
I
that
say
about
just hack
this
it off
long,
at the bottom and take it out completely, I'd be happy with
What's
that,
that?
the Rose of Sharon. I like it, it's
Yeah.
two
It
colors.
blocks that fence and everything behind it, that's the only reason we put them
Oh,
there.
yeah, it just has to be cut back,
Yeah.
it's just huge, and some of those rose bushes I talked to Annie about are really old.
Yeah, they are.
And so some of them are just, they're so out of shape and they've been clipped back, but one side is just thick branches, nothing on them, you know,
Yeah.
because it's just so out of shape. There comes a time where they have to be removed and put,
Replaced,
yeah,
yeah.
put replacements in there.
Hostas do really well in there now.
Yeah, they did. And they're always a nice fill-in, you don't have to do
Yeah.
drought resistant. Whatever those little blue flowers were that Annie put in down there, those took off nice.
Yeah.
They're down on point. But yeah, the rose
About the
bushes
same
are a
as
nightmare.
flowers, huh?
No, I thought it would.
What?
Michelle just keeps shaking her head when I mention the clipping those. Every time I mention clipping those bushes, she goes, don't make me remember that. Don't make me remember
It won't
that.
take long.
3 days later,
She went home and she said they all lied. I hate those people.
that's what happens here. Say it's a piece of cake, it'll be there for half an hour.
Yeah, I know.
3 days later, we're still doing it.
30 bags later.
Oh my God, so many bags.
Hey,
People
listen, I
can't
told
believe
people-
when you get down there and clean up that mess and you say, oh my gosh, we had 30 bags down there.
And that took
How could you have
24
30
bags of
We had
mulch
30
to do
bags.
that. 24 bags.
And that's such a small area, and yet there's
Mhm.
so many bags. I remember we were down there that day.
Bags.
So many bags.
Oh my God,
It
there's
was
so many
great,
bags.
but 24 bags.
So many bags.
Yeah, that was a.
Again, that's the kind of stuff that we have to start transitioning
Mhm.
next year.
Well, they can bring a truck in and just,
Yeah.
that's what a company
Taking
does.
the-
They-
Raina,
No
just
time
send
at
me
all.
for the email.
Yeah, they can do that part. The plants is one thing, but I think the mulching and that, stuff can be
Yeah.
done by the company.
All right.
Alright, is there?
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
The
It
next
just didn't
meeting
look like
would
it was
be
gonna
April
need that
20th.
much.
Oh, yeah. but
I just kept going back from work, I was laughing. I stopped back one more, I thought one more time, one more time.
And we do have to keep
Good
in
times,
mind
good times. Thanks,
also
everybody.
that
Are we
the
done?
insurance company said that
Yes.
the
Yes.
playground has
Oh,
to have
since
some
we're
kind of
done.
surface.
Mhm.
Danielle, when you're done writing?
That's been a year and a half now.
Well,
At least.
All right, just real quick, I did send an email back to Mr. Hollister on the track.
Okay,
Okay, so probably tomorrow he'll get back to me, so I will keep everyone in the loop as far as that all goes.
okay.
All right, and then I will email the county commissioners tonight when I get home, and then I will forward the email that I sent to them to all of council, to all of council.
I need your help. I need 2 students for camp nighting.
for what?
Camp nighting.
Oh,
What is that?
okay.
Through the Rotary. It's a leadership camp for sophomores. It's a s- juniors. It's a camp. It's a summer camp. I think it's 2 weeks. 1 week?
4 days.
4 days. Oh, it's only 4 days. It's
Well, they stretch, it
Through
feels
the
like,
Rotary.
it feels like 2
They
weeks.
call it leadership camp, where they apparently the kids sometimes resist going, but once they've done it, they absolutely love it. They learn a bunch of stuff. They do a bunch of stuff. They walk away. You know, it's great on your for your college resume. Apparently it's a big deal. It's been going on for decades.
Cool. Very cool. So you need 2 students.
I need 2 students. Danielle got that done last time.
It's on beautification now, right?
Yes, we're done. We're on to Rotary
Mark
business.
down there. We didn't do it in 2017.
No, we did.